Bienvenidos a la quinta clase de este curso de inglés avanzado completamente gratis. I upload a new class every Monday and Thursday, so make sure you subscribe to my channel to receive notifications. And don't forget, you can download all of my resources and my presentations from my classes if you join my Facebook group. Today we have a special lesson all about how to give your opinion, to agree and to disagree respectfully, and to engage in a healthy debate. Let's begin. So first of all, we're going to be discussing our opinions, using phrases which are a bit more advanced than just I think, okay? So here you have a bunch of different expressions to express my opinion. And here what I've done is I've put them in 4 different colors here for you, depending on the level of strength or the level of conviction. Now, for example, the green box here, this is opinions where your opinion isn't very strong, okay? So let's take an opinion, for example. Tacos are better than tamales, okay? Tacos are better than tamales. So if I have an opinion, but it's not a very strong opinion, I would say, I have the feeling that tacos are better than tamales. Or my impression is that tacos are better than tamales. Or I am under the impression that tacos are better than tamales, or I would say that tacos are better than tamales, okay? So those are opinions where it's not that strong, okay? The orange box is for a slightly stronger opinion, okay? So yes, it is my opinion. In my opinion, tacos are better than tamales. In my eyes, tacos are better than tamales. Or to my mind, tacos are better than tamales. The purple box is a little bit stronger still, so even stronger, okay? So in my experience, tacos are better than tamales. My conviction or my belief is that tacos are better than tamales. So if I use my experience, then if somebody says that I'm wrong, then they're questioning my experience, okay? So it's quite a strong thing to say. My belief, my conviction is also very strong. And then finally, the blue box, I am convinced, I am sure, I have no doubt that tacos are better than tamales. This is a super strong opinion, okay? So, the activity now is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more phrases here. And I want you to take a moment to decide which color you think each one of these phrases is, okay? For example, I hold the opinion that. So, I hold the opinion. You are declaring that it is your opinion. So it's definitely not the green box. It's actually the purple. I hold the opinion. Tengo esta opinión, es mía. So it's quite strong. My position is the following. Again, this could be purple or blue. My position. It's pretty strong, right? Okay, so I'm just going to give you a minute to stop the video and decide what color you think each one is, okay? Here come the answers. 3, 2, 1. I dare say that... So this one's not very strong at all, okay? Me atrevo a decir, it's not a very strong opinion. It goes without saying. This is a very common phrase in English. It goes without saying means ni se tiene que decir. O sea, se entiende. Todo mundo lo entiende. Todo mundo lo sabe, right? So you're presenting it almost like it's not an opinion, it's a fact, right? It goes without saying that tacos are better than tamales. I gather that, again, like entiendo que. I gather that. It's not very strong. As far as I'm concerned, pretty strong. Hasta el límite de mi conocimiento, hasta que yo sepa, right? So you're saying, as far as I know, right? It seems to me, me parece, again, that's not very strong, but you are using yourself, like me. It seems to me, so it's kind of something that I understand. So this is my opinion, not very strong, but it seems to me, the way I see it, again, I think it's very similar, the way I see it. Guess, adivino que, o supongo que, not very strong. And then bet, apuesto que, yeah, a little bit stronger, but still not particularly strong, okay? So here you have lots of different ways to express your opinion about something, depending on how strongly you feel about it. So just to check, here you go. In the green box, I dare say that, I gather that, I guess that. In the orange box, we have I bet that, it seems to me the way I see it. In the purple box, we have, as far as I'm concerned, I hold the opinion that. And then in the blue box, we have, it goes without saying, and my position is the following. So, tell me, guys, what's your opinion? How strong is your opinion about, for example, dogs or cats? Donald Trump's presidency? Pineapple on pizzas? Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Or maybe salsa verde or salsa roja? Like, give me your opinion. Write it in the comments on this video, or if you want to leave it on the Facebook group in the chat or something, then please go ahead. Give me one of these opinions. It goes without saying that pineapple does not belong on pizzas, for example, right? Okay, so we've looked at how to discuss our opinions, but now we have to avoid just giving my opinion, listening to someone else's opinion, and then giving another opinion and just having an exchange of opinions. You have to acknowledge, reconocer, the other person's point of view, whether you agree or disagree, okay? So now we're going to look at acknowledging with agreeing or disagreeing. So I know there's a lot of text on this screen, but bear with me for a second. So look up here, in this corner up here where the blue is. We can acknowledge without agreeing. So we listen to the other person's point of view, but we disagree. So, for example, I see your point, but I think, or yes, I understand, but my opinion is, okay? And that's all very interesting, but the problem is, okay? So you acknowledge what the person is saying, but you don't necessarily agree with it. Over here in the yellow, we can acknowledge what the person says, but try and refocus the conversation. So for example, while I do see your point, I believe X is more important. That may be true, but have you considered, okay? And then the third option here, this orange one, is where you acknowledge what the person says and you actually agree, right? So I share your view, I think so too, he's quite right, I have no objection, I approve. Okay, so all of these are acknowledging and agreeing, right? So what I want you to do now is similar to the previous activity. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more phrases. And again, I want you to decide in which color they would be. For example, I hold the same opinion would be here, right? Acknowledge and agree. I'm afraid I can't quite agree with your point, so I'm recognizing the point, but I'm also saying I disagree with it, right? Okay, stop the video and see if you can identify which color each one of these phrases is. Here come the answers. 3, 2, 1. I think I've got your point. Now let me respond to it. Again, I'm not agreeing, but I'm going to respond. That could certainly contribute, but then there is also, I'm redirecting, refocusing on something else. That is an interesting point, but again, I can redirect here, or that might also be blue. You could also put that in blue. I can see what you're saying. Here's my reply, blue. I have come to the same conclusion, acknowledge and agree. That may be so, but again, refocusing. I'm saying that it might be true what you're saying, but, and we are of the same mind, okay? So just to check, the blue box, I'm afraid I can't quite agree with your point. I think I've got your point and I can see what you're saying. The yellow box, that could certainly contribute, that may be so, and that is an interesting point. And then the orange box, I have come to the same conclusion, I hold the same opinion, we are of the same mind. Now, again, I would like you to respond to these points in the comments on this video, in the comments down below, or in the Facebook group. So here is a point. Tomato is a fruit, and so is pineapple. So all fruits are clearly welcome on pizzas. Okay, that's a point, right? That's an opinion, and I want you to respond. Now, you can either acknowledge without agreeing, you can acknowledge but refocus, or you can acknowledge and agree, all right? So I want you to respond to the point about pineapples, or, for example, dogs are cute, friendly, and interesting. Cats, however, are more intelligent, independent, and clearly better pets. That's an opinion. Respond to it. The economy actually grew more in Obama's final 3 years than in Trump's first 3. He hasn't been a good president. Okay? Respond to that opinion. So that was acknowledging. Now I want to talk about summing up or closing arguments. So how do you make like a summary of all of the arguments? So this is from Macmillan Dictionary's website. These are different ways to summarize, okay? You can start a sentence by saying briefly, so when you're about to say something without many details. Altogether, used for introducing a summary of what you have just said. In brief, without many details. In short, used for introducing a summary. In effect, a summary. On balance, after considering all of the facts. In the final analysis or in the last analysis, giving the facts that are most relevant. In summary, obviously used at the end of a piece, or to sum up, giving a summary. Okay, so these are all different ways that you can start a summary. So people are talking and discussing and you're having an argument, so you would say, okay, everybody, to sum up, we can see that on this side of the argument, X, Y, Z, and we can see that on this side of the argument, X, Y, and Z, right? That's the only thing I wanted to talk to you about with summary, just a little bit of vocabulary there. And the final thing I wanted to talk about was levels of politeness, okay? So, for example, I can agree in an informal way, right? I can say, you've hit the nail on the head, which is an idiom we learned in the last class, or previous to last. Spot on, which means yes, exactly. Bang on, exactly. Totally. Great minds, or great minds think alike. The expression is great minds think alike. Basically what I'm saying is you and I have the same thought, okay? We are on the same wavelength. We're on the same page. That's for sure. That's so true. You're so right. So these are all different ways to agree with somebody, but they're pretty informal, okay? I can also informally disagree, right? So I can say, you're off your head, which basically means you're crazy. You're off your rocker, which means you're crazy. You're mad, which means you're crazy. There's no way that's true. You're living in a fantasy. You're on another planet. You must be crazy. You can't be serious. You must be joking. You're having me on. You're having a laugh. All of these are different informal ways to say, no, I disagree. You're wrong. Okay? So everything we've studied so far, it's all about ways to be polite, right? Giving your opinion, agreeing, disagreeing, acknowledging, summarizing. We're talking about being polite, being educated. But if you're on Twitter, you don't have to be educated. You could just use one of these, right? So if somebody's saying something stupid on Twitter, just say, you must be crazy, you must be joking. You're having me on, which means basically you're joking, right? Or you're having a laugh. You're being a troll, right? So if you want to know how to agree or disagree informally, here is a page of vocabulary for you. So that's everything in terms of opinions. I thought it was important to do because now we're talking about how to use the language. So we've spent 40 classes or something studying language. And now I want to study how to use it. So when we're talking about debating, opinions, acknowledging, agreeing, disagreeing, summing something up, levels of politeness, I think it's really important to start talking about how to use the language. Okay? Okay, time for a song. So this song is from 2019 by an artist called Poppy. It's called I Disagree. It's an incredibly strange song. This artist is an artist who has changed from pop to bubblegum pop to electro and now to like industrial hardcore rock. Okay, so this song is a mixture of like pop and rock. It's very interesting. So basically the only reason I put this song is because it's about disagreeing, okay? But grammatically, it doesn't really help us with what we were studying today. I just thought it was interesting. So I disagree. Everything you believe is a tragedy. I disagree with the way you keep preaching insanity. I disagree with all of the reasons you're mad at me. I disagree. Everything in your life is a tragedy. So obviously, these are words that rhyme. It's not a particularly intelligent argument, but she's giving you her reasons to why she disagrees, okay? And then she gives a list of imperatives. Down, let it all burn down. Burn it to the ground. We'll be safe and sound when it all burns down. Okay, so we're going to be fine when everything is destroyed. Okay. Again, I disagree with the way you continue to pressure me. I disagree with the way you are failing to pleasure me. I disagree everything is going how it's meant to be. I disagree with the way you continue to pressure me. Okay, and then again, the chorus. And again, if only all of you could see the world I see, then maybe everyone could live in harmony. Okay, so I Disagree by Poppy, 2019. It's a really weird song. I recommend you give it a listen just to try it because it's pop and then rock and then rock and then pop. Okay, our idioms for today. We have 4. To be loaded, to live hand to mouth, to make ends meet, and to have the Midas touch. Now, all 4 of these idioms are related to money. Okay, so to be loaded means to have a lot of money, to be rich. Have you seen his new car? He must be loaded. He must have a lot of money. He must be rich. To live hand to mouth literally means you're working and you're earning money, and that money is going straight into your mouth like that food. So you're working, you don't have any savings, okay? When you're living hand to mouth, it means everything you earn is spent on your living expenses, okay? So if I have £100 in a week and I'm spending £100 on electricity, water, food, then I have nothing for saving, then I'm living hand to mouth. And it also means if I lose my job, then I'm in big trouble because I have no savings, okay? So living hand to mouth every week. Just trying to make ends meet. Okay, this is a really interesting one. This is one of my favorite idioms in English. To make ends meet means cubrir todos mis gastos, okay? So that's what it means in Spanish, like, to make ends meet is to pay everything I have to pay. Where does this expression come from? It actually comes from tailoring. So if you think about a person many centuries ago would buy the material for a shirt, okay? And the person would buy sufficient material to have the shirt that wraps around the whole body, okay? So you would have this part of the shirt and this part of the shirt and the 2 ends, and you would try to make them meet, right? To meet the 2 ends and then stitch the ends together. So to make ends meet literally is to cubrir mis gastos, viene de una expresión de cubrir todo el cuerpo con la tela. Okay, so you make the ends meet. Okay, y lo que sobra, what's left over, you can save. Okay, that's where the expression first appeared. I think in the 18th century in a book it appeared related to comparing the material for a shirt with the money that you have to cover your costs. So yeah, I really like it. Trying to make ends meet, intentando cubrir mis gastos. And finally, to have the Midas touch. Midas, la leyenda de Midas. Todo lo que toca se vuelve en oro, o sea, exitoso en negocios y con dinero, right? He must have the Midas touch in business to be so rich, so young. Okay, so everything you do is a success. Everything you touch turns to gold, right? So literally you would say everything you do is a success. You are successful in everything. You have the Midas touch. So that's everything for today's class. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to receive notifications for when I upload my videos on Monday and Thursday. And of course, you can also join my Facebook group to download all of my resources and presentations for free. Thank you for learning English with me, and I will see you next class.